and welcome to Faith, Family, and the Festival. Here we are at the Strawberry Festival with one of my favorite people of all times. Favorite. He's my Sunday school teacher. He's a longtime friend. When I was in youth in church, you were involved with youth, and we went on choir tour together.
Oh yeah.
We go way back.
We do. It's been great. It's been great. Watched you grow up.
I know.
So proud.
We
I'm
won't
so
talk
proud.
about ages or anything.
No, of course
but
not.
thank you.
Yeah.
And Dub McGinnes is one of these people that, and I've told you this before about even your children, that when people approach sometimes, and whenever you wonder, are they really that nice? Are they really that kind? And I'm like, yeah, they are. So it's just all around gracious, humble, and funny too.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
funny.
you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate
that. Got to pump you up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Dub, tell us, first of all, what is your role here at the Strawberry Festival?
Well, I am the past chairman. Had the privilege and the honor of being chairman for a couple of years, and now Phil Waldron, of course, is our chairman. So technically, I'm the past chairman, but what I am doing now primarily is chairman of the entertainment committee, which is backstage, securing the acts for for the festival and working backstage during the festival with the acts.
All right.
Yeah.
And I liked how at the volunteer dinner this year, speaking of entertainment, when he presented the entertainers to us, you gave, and I've used this with several people so many times, a great explanation of our acts and how, because we were the last festival of COVID, first festival to come back, all our contracts were honored.
Yes.
So how does all this tie in? Explain it to us.
Well, it's I have to admit, this has been one of the hardest, if not the hardest year to secure acts, because now all the venues are open, and many of the artists who could not appear at venues across the nation that they had already contracted for are of course, assuming those contracts and their obligations. So that took a lot of the potential artists that we could offer off the table. So that was very, very hard. But yes, I remember the volunteer dinner. I was we still had some slots that were open. We hadn't filled
many slots.
And I find myself up there doing a little soft shoe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We almost put
myself.
you on the big stage.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was doing it, and but we're grateful for the lineup that we have. We're excited, and I do remember this. Willie Nelson, who has since sold out, and we're so excited that he's coming. But I asked the volunteers that night to put Willie on their prayer list, and I'm asking you, if you don't have Willie, on your prayer list, adding, he will turn 90 years old in April. And so, we are literally praying that he will be here. And he is, by the way, very gracious backstage. He's he's a wonderful man in that respect. Yeah.
And did I hear that when he is here at the festival, the day, March 3rd, he has a new album coming out too?
If you can believe that,
89
he's got
years
a
old.
new album. You're right. And this is amazing. This man does not stop. And I don't know what his secret is. There have been some suggestions as to what's keeping him going, but we don't want to go there. But nevertheless, he's here. And so I think we've got a great lineup. We're excited about it and looking forward to it, really. Yeah.
Who are you most excited about seeing?
Well, this sounds really corny, but
I want to see everyone.
Let me tell you, the best show I ever saw, most exciting show I ever saw at the Strawberry Festival was in 1982. When it was just a sudden thing. My brother-in-law came by and said, I've got 2 tickets for for the act tonight. You want to go. And it was a last minute thing, and it was the Oak Ridge Boys. Okay?
Oh, yes.
And that was the year that Elvira came.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I was blown away. So I'm telling you, those guys are like family to us, and I
Yes.
look forward to them coming. They're
Exactly.
great backstage. They literally are like family.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, to stand backstage and look at the faces of everybody, they're just drinking. I mean, they're just drinking it all in. They're just smiling. They
And you
love
do.
it.
You get that point of view that none of us get.
Right, right.
So you see all these faces
Yeah.
of all these
Yeah.
festival goers.
That's right. That's
I
right.
bet that's exciting right there.
It really is. It really is. So,
Okay, so you took us back to 1982.
Yeah.
So I want us to go back a little further, just a wee bit, when you were a wee little lad.
That's when dinosaurs were on.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure about that. But what is your earliest memory of going to?
You know, of course, the whole town always been excited about it, and I was. And as a little boy, now I hate to admit this, maybe I don't think this is bad, but I love the spook houses.
Okay.
And when maybe some of you remember, probably not. Goes back to
It wasn't that spooky, really, but
it was to me. And they had this witch that had a broom, and the witch, you know, was going like this. And I mean, that freaked me out. But I did. I love going in the spook houses. I just, you know, my imagination took off. So that, and, you know, at that time they had people who were pretty fat and whatever. Sadly, I remember that. That wasn't really a happy memory.
kind of like all the circus stuff.
Yeah, it was,
almost
but it
feel.
was impactful to me. You know, I felt sorry. You know, here's somebody that is there for a reason. People coming in and looking at them, and you know, that was I'm glad we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
But those are memories that I have way
Yeah.
back,
Yes,
way back. Yeah.
way back then. And it probably, was it at this location or not at this location?
It eventually was at this
Yes.
location, yeah, but it was previous at other locations.
Yes.
But it was always been a part of my life ever since I can remember. Yeah.
So you've had, speaking of your life, you've had a wife that is born here. She's from Plant City.
Right.
Your daughters kept their families here in Plant City.
Yeah.
How far back does your family go in the Plant City, the community?
Well, my dad moved here in 1935 from Lakeland. He lived in Lakeland. He was in business with his dad in Lakeland. And he moved here in 1935 and started a business, a lumber yard. So that's really the roots of Plant City. Traces back to them. But you know, when I was growing up, and I'll share this, you'll like this. I looked, and when I started our family with Lori and Tara, of course, as they were growing up, I said, I always wanted my kids, my girls, to somehow come back to Plant City. Wouldn't that be great?
Can that be?
And I looked around, and there was Jimmy Redmond, who had accomplished that feat.
Yes.
His family moved back, and I'm looking, Joe Newsom,
Yes.
same thing, and I'm saying, Lord, if you could just bless me with my family being all together again here, that would be a wonderful thing. And of course, he answered that prayer and whatever, and I'm so proud of my girls and their families, and I'm in their lives. Peck and I just, it is our life. So,
How many grandchildren do you have?
well, we have 4. We have 2 girls and 2 boys. So it's great.
It is.
And their lives, and just, it's been a joy to watch them grow up.
Oh, well, scripturally, it's just God referenced so many times in the Bible the heritage of generation of faith.
Yes.
And it seems that so far you have succeeded in that, you know?
Well, I haven't succeeded. I've been blessed with
Absolutely.
that. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm very glad. Do you have a favorite Bible verse you could share with us?
Yes, my life verse really is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. trust in the Lord with all your heart and all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. Don't lean on your own understanding. That so many times I want to get ahead of God, and it says, in all your ways, acknowledge Him. Don't lean on your own understanding. Sometimes I have to fight that. I want to get ahead, but God, He is Sunday school lesson is on Good Shepherd.
Okay. This coming
So,
Sunday.
and you lead sheep, you follow the Good Shepherd, and so you have to follow.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Do you have a real example for us that you could share that you really had to lean into those verses?
Absolutely. When Peck and I came back, and we were so excited. This was in '71. We'd gone to college, etc. I had a short stint in the Army. I was so excited about coming back and working with my dad in the lumberyard and being back home. We wanted to come back home. Our families were here. This is where we wanted to be. But I was a Christian then as we started our family. I have to admit, it was kind of the obligatory thing. It was like, well, we ought to go to church. We ought to go to Bible study. We ought to do this. It was like checking off the box of a Christian what they're supposed to do, obligated to do, or feel obligated to do. Well, our minister of education at the time, Oscar Calhoun, was a real mentor to me. And suddenly the light switch just flicked on. And I realized through his life that it's not something that we feel like we have to do, but serving the Lord and being involved and being a witness and being all these things is what you want to do.
Yeah. We get to do.
Yeah. So my want to's changed. And that was significant. That was significant. And Peck and I tell you, Peck's right there. Her ministry through the years has just been incredible. First with the youth, and then with married couples, and now that she learned a lot of this outreach and what she's so strong in from her mother, Betty Chambers, let me tell you. So,
and if you ever need food, she brings it not just for you, but for the whole village around you.
Yeah, I've said this many, many times, but it's true. Peck is the most selfless person I've ever met. So, very fortunate.
I love that. And I just got a tear thinking about this. Is when I think of you and the man that you are and the man of integrity, I often say that about Tim. And you are my husband, and y'all are two men that you can step back, you're very observant, you take it in, but when you speak, you better listen, because it's truth. And and I appreciate that. And then he has often, and I can't wait because I hope I am this way, but he's often said, "You're like Miss Peck." And so I'm like, oh, thank you, and it's very humbling. So,
thank you.
Yes, wonderful family.
Thank you.
If I could just get all my kids, but I don't think they're going to be coming back. I got one close. The other ones are ready to get out of Dodge right now, but it's okay. Yeah. It's all right. Is there anything that you want us to know about faith, family, or festival before we leave?
Well, let me tell you this, and I know I saw the interview with Paul, and he shared this as well. But you need to know every meeting at the festival, whether it's a committee meeting, much less the board meetings, etc. We start it with a prayer, and that has meant a lot. I have seen, we've been blessed. This whole COVID thing, and Paul touched on it. We were the last big event before the nation shut down with COVID. And we were the first big event to able to come back after COVID had come, and that was a very hard decision. A lot of prayers went into that, but but many people said, you're going to lose your shirt. What are you doing? Well, we had a successful festival, and the community loved it. So I've seen God's hand of favor on us specifically. And I'm thinking about this. I've also seen more than one occasion, Stephanie, where I would be with Paul and Kyle, who was head of security at the time, and the fire marshal, all in Paul's office when we were having bad weather coming. I mean, storms coming, possible storms coming. And we were tied into the Ruskin weather station. And we were in constant call to see whether or not to, what do we do? So first of all, about the acts, do we stop the acts? What about the fairgrounds? Do we close them down? And of course, if lightning strikes within 11 miles, everything's shut down and whatever. And we would literally watch on a high-powered radar these storms. This is happening more than one time. And literally, the storm, just the clouds part. They go to the north of us. It goes to the south of us. And then by Lakeland or Lake Wales, they join back together. We have been spared.
God's
and I mean, you could see it.
Yeah.
And, I look at Paul and I said, we really shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Why do we do that? We're like, wow, God did that. And you're like, okay, he's God.
Yeah. He's God. He has really shown his favor on the festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate Peck. I appreciate your family. And it's going to be a great festival, March 2nd through the 12th. And it's coming up. We are
right around the corner.
Yeah, like less than 2 weeks away.
Right.
So that's exciting.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.